If you could call in and ask one question to Karen or Alan or both, what would it be, Peter?
I would probably say, what's the over-under on when the Department of Justice is going to come in with a half dozen buses and lock everybody's asses up?
Good one. And what do you think? And Alan would have a legal read on that. Karen would probably play it polite. But DA Michael Morrissey, I mean, the last we heard about him, the guy that oversees Norfolk County and put on this whole charade, his popularity is so unbelievably low, like 4%. We heard his wife was pressuring him not to run because, I mean, you could put Bugs Bunny's name on that list, and Bugs Bunny would outrate him at this point. You think he's stepping down? Just
it's hard to say. These people are so brazen and so emboldened and have dug their heels in so deep to try to keep their I guess their narrative going and stay out of jail. He might seek it again just to stay in power and try to keep a tab on things. I really don't know how that's going to go.
Yeah, he's. I heard that he's on the. I heard that he comes on after Karen. I heard he's on. Someone in the chat section said that Michael Morrissey is supposed to be on the same radio station as Karen and Alan. Yeah, but at different times.
Wow, that's news to me. But I miss a lot at my age, Billy. So I'm not sure. But
look at this woman. Look in the chat section here, Peter. Nita says, "Did you see that Aiden? That's Turtle Boy." Is sort of sad that he did not get that interview. Made me feel so bad for him. Well, you got Alan Jackson first. Alan Jackson showed up live on Turtle Boy's Saturday night program, which was he took a Saturday night out to come pay respect to Turtle Boy. I think that's nice. As for Karen, Turtle Boy does have an argument. I mean, I think he really rallied people to the outside of the courthouse, and the noise he made was instrumental in getting people to pay attention to the corruption around them. But I don't know. Howie's a ring you got to kiss in that area, isn't it? And he's got a big imprint.
Yeah, for sure. And I agree with everything you just said about Aiden, about Turtle Boy, and him coming into the case. As a side note, I am good friends with a Boston police officer who's in the administrative side of things, and he told me back in April of 23, when this case was 15 months old, and I was still, as a police officer, Billy, believing the narrative that had been spoon-fed to all of us that Karen killed her boyfriend with a car. And I talked to my buddy, who's actually a neighbor, a Boston police officer. I said, "Hey, what are you hearing at the water bubble? What's going on?" From Boston PD. I mean, and I know Boston police never showed up at 34 Fairview Road the morning that one of their officers was found dead on the lawn. I mean, it just had, it reeked of issues and concerns on my side. Anyway, he said, "Oh, if you don't know what's going on with that case, because it's crickets at the water bubbler at BPD," he said, "you want to follow Turtle Boy." And I said, "Turtle Boy? What the Christ is Turtle Boy? That cartoon? I stopped watching them years ago." So that was my inception or introduction into Turtle Boy. And to reiterate what you said, I think Aiden deserves a tremendous amount of credit for deep diving into what he did and coming up with the information he came up with.
Absolutely. I mean, the guy's
Howie is a power in Massachusetts. And, my understanding is he's got a lot of connections down in D.C. with the big guy. And we'll see. I don't think Howie's going to leave any stone unturned when it comes to, beating the drum on this whole case. And I mean, this case is beyond Karen Reed. We got Sandra Birchmore. We got a guy in jail, a Stoughton cop in federal jail right now, who's singing apparently like a canary, and nobody else has been brought in on that. We got Justin Root, who was shot 31 times in Chestnut Hill by state troopers, some of whom were on a hearing yesterday. Not saying he fired a round, but there were 31 shots fired. Pretty much Justin Root was executed, and that's under Morrissey's watch too. So that's why we're doing a standout today.
Oh my God! Well, the people have had enough in Boston. They're rocking. They're making noise. I think
Yes.
Morrissey's head is on a stake. He's done. That guy is done. He's a terrible DA. He's been in there for like 12 years or something, and he's just he looks bad. By the way, Peter, he looks like his arteries are about to shut down for good. That dude needs he needs a nice long walk and a statin.
Well, that's why they call him meatball and
His
pass
wife
the
is
gravy
like,
and pass the gravy.
he looks like he's been on a sausage and cigarette diet for.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's
He's got that
a
Boston look, He's got that Boston Ted Kennedy look. It's not good.
well. It's not only Boston, Billy, but he's a power player in Quincy, Massachusetts. Quincy, Massachusetts. You have some huge names. You have the name Bellotti. You have the name O'Connell, who built Marina Bay. There's some serious players there, and if you go back and do a deep dive on O'Connell family, you're going to be shocked at what you're going to find, and you'll be amazed at the lack of accountability to that family and Morrissey's connection to him.
Yeah, no kidding. Sausage and cigs, baby. Just remember that. Peter Murphy, I'm gonna be listening to that Karen Reed. I hope somebody calls in and asks her thoughts on Elizabeth Banks playing her in that Prime Video series.
Right?
It's not the project that Alan and Karen are behind. They might be doing it's a different series or a movie, but
Right.
that won't involve Elizabeth Banks. But if I'm them, I see that and I go, ooh, we better come out first because Elizabeth Banks is, that's some heft right there.
Yeah, no, sure.
Well, I love you, baby. Just wanted to see you, check in with you, and
Hey,
we got to keep.
I'm watching you guys all the time, and every minute I have that I can click on and you get notified that you're on TV here on the stream. I'm all over it. So you stay well. Thanks for all you're doing for the movement, 3,000 miles away, and I'll keep you in the loop. Matter of fact, I'll be on. I'll be down at Marcy's standout today. If you want any live stream, give me a shout.
Love you for that. Hey, there's a question at the bottom before you go. Is Michael Proctor getting his job back? What do you think the chances of that are? If that happens, then that is deep-seated corruption.
Yeah, not a chance in hell, in my opinion, for two reasons. Not only what he did on the stand and said on the stand, but let's face it, we had a dead police officer found on another police officer's lawn, and the Canton police started that investigation. And if you want to call it an investigation, I'd rather say they covered it up.
Kangaroo court.
Yeah, and then they passed the baton on to the state police and recused themselves. Well, you know what? If he was the lead investigator, which he was identified as yesterday by his attorney, Billy, why the Christ didn't he say to the Canton police, what's on scene? Give me a quick video of what it looks like now. Make sure you post 4 officers there. Close the goddamn street. Get a command center going. You have access to really well-equipped command vehicles, mobile vehicles. Nothing gets it. Nobody from the state police, my understanding is, if my memory is correct, nobody showed up till after 5:30, and Canton police, Mike Lank drove away with Sean Good at 9:00 in the morning after having coffee inside 34 Fairview. Give me an effing break.
Yeah, I hope we see justice for John O'Keefe, who was at the bottom there. I hope I hope the truth comes out and the real lawsuits get filed and the real people go on the stand on the other side. There's a few people that sat on that witness stand that needed to be sitting at the table next to their lawyer instead.
Exactly.
Big guy, I love you, Peter. Thank you for checking in. Friend for life.
Absolutely, man. You stay well. Next time I'm out to visit my daughter, we're gonna connect out there.
You better, man.
All right. Best to you and Steve. Thank you. Yeah.
There he goes. There goes Murphy. What a great guy, Peter Murphy.